I got into Bodywork just a few years ago following a head-on collision on my motorcycle. Going through therapy, I learned all the benefits. I had never had a therapeutic massage. Through that recovery, wondering while I was still alive, I knew that that was my calling, and I specialize in manual lymphatic drainage. I do other modalities, but manual lymphatic drainage is my passion. It's not work for me, it's my passion.
Hello and welcome to the Crystal Clear Business Podcast. Today we have Suzanne Armstrong with Bodywork by Suzanne. And Suzanne is an incredible massage therapist that specializes in lymphatic drainage. And she is a wonderful asset to my BNI networking group as well. Thank you for joining us today, Suzanne. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking me. I don't know where to go.
Just tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I got into Bodywork just a few years ago following a head-on collision on my motorcycle. Going through therapy, I learned all the benefits. I had never had a therapeutic massage. And through that recovery, wondering while I was still alive, I knew that that was my calling, and I specialize in manual lymphatic drainage. I do other modalities, but manual lymphatic drainage is my passion. It's not work for me, it's my passion.
I love that. Actually, the episode right before that, before you got on here, we talked about how kind of accidents can lead us to our purpose and how life will redirect us sometimes, but then we can also end up on the path that we were meant to be instead of where we were going.
Right.
So it sounds like that motorcycle accident kind of gave you a new lease on life.
Yeah, I finally realized what I wanted to be when I grew up. I knew it was meant to be. Working in real estate, I just, it was a job. It was a trek of work, and this is just, I look forward to it and check on everybody after I work on them and see what we need to do next, make adjustments if necessary, and just create a plan for each individual. So there's no cookie cutter program treatment and therapy. So.
And I know you're always studying, you're always out getting new certifications, and I love that you have that growth mindset about you.
Yeah. I lay in bed at night watching YouTube videos. There's no more, watching other programs. It's YouTube. I'll be traveling in October to Florida to take a more advanced following surgical plastic surgery, elective surgeries. Could be knee replacements, but going to get trained in that. It's real important to do the manual lymphatic drainage prior to surgery, and then following with surgery. It helps with the healing, helps with the actual procedure. It is your immune system, so it's very important for everybody to get that cleared and running. And it's a soft modality. It's gentle. It's rhythmic. Helps with from lymphedema to maybe sinus issues. PTSD is a good one. Helps people sleep at night. I treat someone that has MS, helps her a lot. So.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting to come in and see you. I can't wait to come get it. I have never had a manual lymphatic drainage massage. I always usually get deep tissue, or I love the Thai because I love to stretch within the massage. But can you give me 3 benefits of why someone would want to do the lymphatic drainage?
Yeah. Oh gosh, there's
probably millions.
Yeah, it really is good for so many things, because it is filtering out all the toxins, everything that should not be in your circulatory system. So the lymph system collects from the venous system, and then as it travels through the lymph nodes, the the nodes clean it, and then it returns everything back into your heart. There's a certain procedure that you have to do or pattern in order to get it to work properly. So it reduces inflammation. It really helps with sinuses. You would do it. There are bodybuilders that will do it before they do a show because it makes them look more cut. Um, what else would it? What else? It's a lot of things. There's just relaxation. Well, that's where the PTSD comes in because it takes you from a sympathetic state, which is your fight or flight, to parasympathetic state, and it really calms you down. When I receive it, and especially when they're doing my face, I start snoring and drooling, and then I wake myself up and think, okay, don't do that. And then next thing I know, I'm snoring and drooling again. It really is nice. You can take a before and after picture and see the difference, what it does.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then we're in BNI together, so we've seen a lot of businesses and busy entrepreneurs. And can you give me a reason why your services would help like an entrepreneur who's really busy?
Oh, it would just help, especially somebody sitting at a desk all day
Mhm.
long, and you're reaching toward the computer or you're just sitting too much. Um, you need to relax your shoulders. You need to get up and move around.
Mm,
So,
hips. Yep.
oh, like everything. Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Especially like a man. Don't sit with your wallet in your pocket. You're throwing your back out of alignment. No, that's
That's a great tip. Okay. Okay, gentlemen, pull your wallets out right now. I love it. And so, Suzanne, you've been part of our BNI network for a little over a year now, right?
I renew in September.
Okay, so coming up on 1 year. What's a business takeaway that you've learned from BNI?
Oh, for me, it's been more than business. It's friendship. It's family. I love the accountability. I love meeting with everybody. I look forward to, especially our in-person meetings. The energy is amazing.
It's
It's
so
like
good.
happy hour, but without the alcohol, and it's at 6:30 in the morning. But I really like it. The encouragement, um, mm, the accountability. But it's become my family. I been in the area 5 years, but up in Valley Center, didn't know a lot of people there. Um, and I was so excited when I saw that there was an opening because I had tried to get in a long time ago when I worked as a lender. Nobody gives up that position.
Mhm.
And I couldn't wait to get in.
I love it. And who invited you?
That was Ray Rickards, the chiropractor.
Oh,
What he had done was put an ad in the school that I trained in, and I still get those forwarded to me. And I saw it late in the evening, and I went, BNI, oh, and it was 6:30. I thought, I'm sure I'm too late for this, and then I texted him, and I didn't hear from him for a couple hours, and I was like, oh, somebody's beaten me. And then I stalked him. He was playing in a band the next night, so I stalked him there and did the Zoom meeting, and then had the surgery 2 days after, which was more than I thought. And then the in person was the next week, and I was really in a lot of pain. But then I heard somebody else was after the position too, and then someone said, "You can't go to that," a friend, and I says, "Don't tell me I can't do that." So
yeah.
now I remember I hopped up because at the end of the meeting, um, they'll ask the visitors, "What did you think of the meeting?" And there was a visitor to my left, and she spoke, and my competition to my right, and he spoke, and they skipped over me. Then Wes moved to the board, so his back was to me. And I don't know what happened. I just flew out of my chair and said, "I have something to say." It's like I'm fighting for this, but
Yeah.
and that's not really my
Your
uh,
style.
yeah, I didn't know. I just jumped up. It flew out.
Well, and for people that don't know about BNI, it's Business Networking International, and there's only one classification for each, one person in each classification. So once the massage therapist is filled, there's only one person. So there's the competition comes when trying to get the right person in the chapter. And I'm really, really happy that we chose you because I love to see the engagement that you have with the other members, and you're always caring and lifting up and showing up to people's events.
Mhm.
And I love seeing you being part of that group because, life is what we make it. And we can put, into the group or we can take from it. It's kind of like a a bank account. Are you adding to the bank account or are
Right.
you
Just
subtracting
just
from
so
it?
just withdrawing all the
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
yeah. And you're
Yeah.
definitely adding. So
Yeah.
we're really grateful to have you.
Yeah. And since then, I was able to now secure a location. So I have a place on East Valley Parkway. So that's helped a lot.
Yeah, and if
Mm.
you listen to some of our previous episodes when Paul Thomas, who's also in our chapter, he has Suncoast Sign Pros. He mentioned you during his episode about
Mhm.
how you got some business right away after you put your sign on
Yeah.
your door, and I love the power of BNI of how we can kind of support each other from afar and areas that we might not realize we needed to implement in our business because they're in the chapter and explaining the value of what they do.
Mm.
I know he said Wes got some business from having it on his
Yeah.
vehicle.
The
So,
QR code.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat to see how collaboration through business. I think as women, we tend to collaborate more than sometimes there's that competition side where, both are a little bit healthy. It's okay sometimes to have a little healthy competition. But with business, if we are really able to collaborate and take these benefit of all of these resources, I know we have a gentleman in our chapter named Gus Cervantes. He
Mm.
has a company called ITS Team and he does cybersecurity. And he's always talking about how when he goes out to help his clients, he has more resources because he has all of these people in his back pocket that he could add value to his clients because he knows all these people in his chapter. I think that's incredibly important to like as solo entrepreneurs, we end up like trying to do so many things
Mhm.
ourselves. But what do you think about any feedback on that?
Oh, the one-to-ones where we meet each other, it just when somebody says to "I got a guy for that," and that guy will be good for that or gal. Um, I really look forward to those. I have to set a new record here pretty soon. But, no, I like that, and Gus is great. Um, Dave Lindsay, uh, the insurance, he'll give me ideas of what I can do, to help promote my business, and it's just everybody wants to help each other, and they do,
Yes.
like Laura and her farm stand, and yeah. In fact, I'll be going there today. It is Tuesday. It's
Yeah,
my regular day.
me too. I'm like, I'm in Escondido. I'm going to stop by and get some corn she's got right now. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But I think, what do you have to say to the audience about like people who are entrepreneurs that could use community? Because when we're doing it on ourselves, sometimes it feels like like our business can be a little bit of a chore. But like you had mentioned just earlier, like you're watching YouTube videos at night, you're staying up, you're excited to connect with all these people. What's the secret sauce for that?
To connecting with people through
Mm-hmm.
that. Well, the I'm not really sure to where to go with that. Um, I get a lot of support, like from Regina.
Mm-hmm.
Regina, where do I go for this information? I have somebody that's interested, but I don't know exactly what to send to them. So I have a visitor coming Wednesday or going to be on Zoom Wednesday. She helps a lot with that. Um, support from Joe Ocampo and Joe Coyle, of course. He's the cheerleader in the group. But it's really good. it's just supportive and comforting, and you don't feel judged. You just feel encouraged. And then the continuing education units we can do, those are very nice and helpful, and they're not really long, so you can. I do it sometimes if I can't sleep, I'll turn one on and just listen to it too. Yeah, it's kind of everything. It's kind of my day.
Yeah.
I wear my badge a lot when I go around.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
helps
do.
a good conversation starter.
Yeah. Yeah.
People ask you what you do after seeing your badge.
Mhm.
So, if you were to say like a before and after with your business, before BNI and an after BNI, what would you say the difference is?
Oh, well, first I have a location now. I'm not, driving around doing on-site massage. But it's improved a lot. I mean, I'm up maybe 40%. Um,
And then you also have these deeper, more meaningful connections that are kind of like motivating you and cheering you
oh,
on. And
yeah.
because, as entrepreneurs, we can end up like kind of the word solopreneur is like where we're trying to do everything ourselves. And I love the fact that BNI reminds us of these things that we probably wouldn't have thought of. Like, I know I ended up getting my solar from Adam right before some of the tax cutoffs, but I would have never known if
Mm.
the tax cutoffs would
Mhm.
have been there had I not been part of the group.
Mm.
So there's things that you can become more abreast to because people are giving their commercials every
Right.
week. So it helps you kind of ground yourself, but also stay tuned to like 40 or 50 different areas that,
Mhm.
might have,
Yeah.
different things coming
Yeah.
in.
Tracy Martinez comes up with a lot of information that's very helpful. Ali or Ali
Ollie. Ollie.
Golchin, our accident or attorney,
Injury attorney, yeah.
injury attorney. He's helpful. Even Josh, our plumber, he
Mhm.
comes up with good things.
West Coast Plumbing, shout out to Josh if you're looking for a plumber. He's
Yeah,
very affordable.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
No.
so do you have any business tips for our audience that they could walk away with, or massage tips, or something that could help them with just a little bit more improvement or wellness?
Yeah. Well, with massage, um, you should all have one, no matter what modality. I do a lot of modalities. My specialty is manual lymphatic drainage. My website's Bodywork by Suzanne. There's a lot of information on that. I do a free consultation, um, by phone, and I don't do any cookie cutter treatments. They're all individualized. Um, Little handy tips: don't drive like this. Do this.
Mm.
Yeah, that's bad for your shoulders. Really bad. And if you're maybe have a little sciatica or something going on and you're sore in your car while you're driving, turn your seat heater on. You might have to turn your air down a little bit, but that'll also help you get to your destination easier.
Those are some great tips.
Yeah.
I love that. Why? So down below because
Yeah.
your shoulders?
Yeah. That's no good.
Yeah.
And then you tend to you get
Tense up
too
and
yeah,
lean
yeah, yeah,
forward. Yeah.
pretty soon you're going like that. But if you do this, it took me a little while. My chiropractor had told me that years ago, and it took me a little while. It makes a big, big difference. At first, it's kind of weird turning. You think, oh, this won't turn right, but it does. It's great.
Well, it's also good to keep your brain guessing. It's good to change up
Oh,
little
right.
things like
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
So,
Like
yeah.
brush your teeth with your opposite hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Move your paper towels to the other side of your sink
Oh.
just to keep your brain kind of
Mhm.
agile. And it usually takes a couple days, and then you remember which side of the sink
Mhm.
it's on. But it's nice to keep things guessing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was wonderful having you on today. I loved hearing about your massage therapy. Is there anything else that you would love to share with the audience? Any um, inspiration of like why someone should start their own business, or what it means to you to have your own business?
Yeah. I think you should just step out. Don't let fear or sense of failure uh, prevent you from doing anything. Uh, everybody fails at something, but you just get back up and move forward. And BNI has been my chance to step up and move forward. Really has changed my life. And I have a chosen family that I get to see at least every Wednesday, and a lot of times individually. So
I know as the leader, as president of BNI Escondido, I'm super proud and happy to be part of that group. I've seen so many people's numbers improving. I've seen the connection. We did some really cool activities I'm sorry I missed the beach party, but what was your favorite activity we've done
the
recently?
poker tournament.
Oh, I love the poker tournament. That was really fun. Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, but everybody was telling me. And the buy-in was cheap, so I felt like I was going to lose a lot of money, but I only had $10 at stake.
Well, I bought in a couple times, so I might have invested a little more than you did.
Yeah.
But it is fun. I think social events are important, and having fun in our business is also important. We can get so focused on like our goals and accomplishing things and moving forward, then that sometimes you just got to have a little joy in the journey too.
Well, one time I was just getting ready to start Dave Lindsay on a massage, and Adam Hamill's Alive Solar is across the street from mine. So I was waiting for Dave to get on the table. I walked out the front door and I saw Adam, and I just yelled, "Hey, Adam." And then there was so much traffic, he couldn't hear me. So he came over, and then we walked in because I told him I had Dave in the room, and then he knocked on the door and pretended he was going to do the massage. So,
oh my goodness, how funny.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Dave's look on his
fun.
face. Yeah, that's where the family component comes in.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so if someone wants to join us to BNI Escondido, they can always go to BNI SD and join our chapter or any other chapter in San Diego or nationwide. BNI is all across the world. It's actually one of the world's largest networking organizations, and San Diego happens to be the number 3 region in all of the United States. So I'm really, we're blessed to be in such a prosperous BNI community and to see what's happening in our area. I know being a director is really fun too, to see some of the other chapters and see what they do so I can implement some of what's really working well into our chapter, because I want to see our chapter really thriving this next year. We changed new locations, and we had a little bit of our vice president left halfway through the year because he had a new child on the way. So we wish you luck, Eric and Amber. We're sending our wishes to little baby Aviva, but it did take a little bit of time to get our chapter back on track because, like family stuff happens. But I was really grateful. We have a beautiful new location where we can expand and have people come visit us.
And everyone is so genuine. I mean, you can feel the warmth. I love looking forward to the in-person. It's almost hard to get the meeting started because we're all so happy to see each other. Everybody's hugging and talking, and our Christmas party, I just remembered, that was fun.
That was really fun.
Yeah. It's nice.
So I got you here on the hot seat. What tips or insight could you give me on being a better leader for BNI? Because I mean, we should always be trying to grow, and it's always nice to hear other people's insight. So, what do you think I could do to improve?
Oh gosh. I'm not sure. I think about you a lot because you are on the go so much, and I I'll pray for you. It's just like you do so much, and you do a great job with us. I don't know how you do all this flying back and forth, and you have children, and I don't know how you could improve. I think you do a wonderful job. You encourage everybody. Somebody gives their little commercial, and then you'll make a comment, and yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Sorry, I don't have anything.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment that I'm doing a good job, but, if anything does pop into your mind that I can do to improve, I'm always open
Yeah,
to, constructive criticism because I think there's
yeah.
you know, I
Oh, yeah.
think some of the fun activities that we've done, like the triads and, kinda trying to make things a little bit more fun, I think that's also and swapping
Oh, yeah.
commercials. Those
Mhm.
the commercial swaps are fun because then you kinda get a
Yeah.
different perspective to hear what someone's doing.
Well, I like to get that sort of, um, criticism or helpful suggestion, especially during massage. When I'm working on you, I just it's harder when someone's just quiet, like,
Feedback's
"Let
important,
me know
yeah.
what's going on," but manual lymphatic drainage, that's a little different, but what you will feel is you'll feel the lymph moving. If I'm working on your face and neck, you'll have to start swallowing because it's moving that fluid, but if I'm doing deep tissue, normally I can feel where everything is, but if you give me a nice little moan or groan, I that encourages me a lot. And then if it's too much, then you let me know too. Like, just move over a quarter inch. I love it. That's
Yeah,
good.
that's great. Well, I'm gonna have to get on your schedule because I do travel a lot, and I know being so busy that massage is definitely I would say of all of my guilty pleasures, massage is probably one of my favorites
Mhm.
just because it helps you feel so much better, and, I do get a little tense at times because of, a lot going on in
Yeah.
life. So, definitely, if you haven't had a massage lately, consider having a massage and consider if you're in the North County area, reach out to Suzanne. And Suzanne, how can they get a hold of you?
Um, well, I do all my appointments by phone because I want to be able to get a one-to-one with you and figure out everything that's going on. But you can call my phone, which is 442 And if I don't pick up right away, I will call you right back. Or you could text me if you like, and then we could get things started.
And they can check out your website,
Yeah. My
Body
bodyworkbysuzanne.com. Yeah.
That's great. So reach out to her. And if you know someone who could use a manual lymphatic massage or could use a little bit of holistic healing in their life, share this episode with them. That's how we grow is continuing to share these incredible, inspiring people that are entrepreneurs in the San Diego area and beyond. We've had some people fly in to do the podcast too. So thank you for tuning into this episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.